Hello, people of London. My name is Mary Smith, and I stand before you today as an advocate for human rights and for change. I believe that the Industrial Revolution had a highly negative effect on many individuals because it divided them into social classes based on unfair wages and increased oppression against women. As a single woman with no children or husband and a factory owner's daughter, I believe that I have some privilege. I thankfully have a job in my father's factory and the tools necessary to lead a healthy and abundant life. I don't stand with the damage these factories have done, but it has provided me with better insight as I get to see the harmful effects of the Industrial Revolution in person. I will use my advantages for good and create a movement. First, I would like to share with you some things that might help you better understand the topic. Let's discuss the social classes that industrialization has divided our nation into. Now, many of you may have seen these working class slums hidden on the outskirts of London, but this does not mean you shouldn't hear about the poor living conditions these people live in. Filth everywhere, a gutter before the houses and a drain behind, clothes drying and slops emptying from windows. Can you imagine living this way? Now, many of these people wanted to either, but it is the only way they can afford to live, considering the social division caused by emerging factories that suddenly classified them as a low-life working class. We must come together and fight against these prejudice and discriminatory norms and set new ones that are fair and provide people with a comfortable life and good wages they deserve. It is so outrageous that people have to fight for basic human rights and a life worth living. Some working class people came together to form a union and created a list of demands, except with a closer look, one can see these are not demands at all. They are begging for basic human rights and asking their superiors to put an end to child labor, inhumane work hours, and asking to actually earn a proper amount of money for the hours of work they do. Greedy factory owners, blinded by their new shiny machinery, have taken things too far. We must come together and put an end to this immediately. We can change this if we work together, but I need your help. In addition, not only has the Industrial Revolution created unfair norms and divided our nation, but it has also dragged women's status down to the floor. Many women nowadays believe that they must be obedient housewives and marry a man whom she must serve for the rest of her life. I was blessed to be born into a rich household where I had the choice not to marry. Many women rely on marriage to support them economically, considering many factory owners don't see them as fit to work in a factory. A housewife living in a domestic household states there is indeed something unfeminine in independence. It is contrary to nature and therefore it offends. It is sad to see women believing these norms that society has fed them. Women should not be codependent housewives that seek the approval of their husband. These misogynistic expectations of women must be reformed. Women should be seen fit to work and they should not be discriminated if they choose to. If they choose to be a housewife, that should be their own decision. To prove my point that society has started discriminating against women ever since factories began to emerge, I have evidence that while a male loom operator earns 40 pence, a female loom operator only earns 26 pence. Mind you, this is for the same occupation and the same amount of work. The only explanation for this is that women are simply not respected in the workplace and thought of as highly as men. To conclude, I believe that if people of privilege come together, we can reform these gender norms and social class divisions. We must rise above all of this inequality and come together to fight for a better world to live in. Thank you.